Welcome back for a brand new live. Manchester United vs Newcastle. As you have heard, Onana has been dropped for this match with that shocking game against Lyon. And here is Bayande taking a long ball for Xerxes. Xerxes can unfortunately not get that. Here is Barnes to Joe Linton. Man United need a win today to just make sure to just get them clear. They are not going to get relegated. Dallo tried to get a ball into Xerxes. Xerxes gets it, appealing for a handball inside the box. VAR might need to check that one a bit more closely when the ball goes out of play. They're gonna have a close check if it is a handball. It isn't. Nah, I don't think it is a handball. His hand was by his side. It's not look like that was gonna be a handball. And here is Bayande with the ball. Bayande has had a good season so far, but he hasn't played that many games. He's only had 45 games of the season played. Xerxes starts this game. Xerxes starts for Hoyland. Xerxes has been an underrated player this season. Here's Ericsson. Ericsson to Lenny Euro. Euro. Back to Maguire. Lindelof to Garnacho. Mazarabi. He's got that. And it's intercepted. He's Lenny Euro with a clearance. Can Dallo get the ball? Yes, he headers it out. Joe Linton tries to get the ball. He does get it. Fighting with Garnacho. Garnacho does give a foul away on Joe Linton. Personally, I don't think that was a foul, but it is a drop ball for Newcastle there. Fernandez is going to play that kind of 10 behind Joshua Xerxes in the midfield. Here's Kieran Trippier to take this one for Newcastle here. Kieran Trippier to send a long ball in to the box. Sends a nice one in, but it is straight into Bayandia's hands. It is a good start for Newcastle, while Manchester United need to work on their possession at the midfield and passing. They've been all over the place, Man United right now. Bayandia started for Manchester United in September in 2024 when he played against Fulham. He was only bought for 5.5 mil, which I think is a bargain. But now he's starting instead of Onana. Oh, it's beautiful passing. Oh, Xerxes takes a massive shot. It is a great save by Nick Pope. What a tiki-taka between Bruno Fernandes and Xerxes. Unlucky one for Xerxes there. And it is a corner for Manchester United. What a save from Nick Pope. That is beautiful tiki-taka from the number 10 and number 11 of Manchester United. 0-0 in the first 12 minutes, and the first corner for Manchester United of the game. Here's Bruno to send this one in. He doesn't send it, he gives it Ericsson. Kicks it back, not a good ball in, but it does test Nick Pope as it is straight at him, but he had to dive for it. Here's Pope to send it to Alexander Isak. Isak here, he's got Garnacho with them. He passes it back to Kieran Trippier. Here's Trippier here with the ball. Here's Murphy. Murphy and Trippier. Dan Burn here. Harvey Barnes sends it into the box. No one's there. No one's in the box. Isak just went past Isak. I think Murphy should be in the box there to get another person in to test Bayandia in the net. It was a beautiful dribbling between Trippier and Barnes. Unlucky one there from Newcastle. Here's Murphy. Murphy trying to cut in. He sends one into the box. Bayandia has that one with safe hands. Here's Bayandia to take one out. Xerxes trying to get to control it, can't reach it unfortunately, and it is with Kieran Trippier to Dan Burns. Dan Burns here passes it back to Nick Pope. Nick Pope to send one long to Murphy. I don't know where he was passing to because he passed way ahead of Murphy. Murphy couldn't even try to get that. Nick Pope. I think Nick Pope is showing that he's under pressure, which is a weakness in the Newcastle squad right now. And here's Isak with the ball inside the box. He can't find anyone to cross to, and it is a goal kick for Manchester United. Both teams are looking strong right now, but Newcastle are getting their chances. They need to finish them off quick time. Isak has been brilliant this season. 27 Premier League appearances, 20 goals and 5 assists. He is one of the contenders of the Golden Boot in the Premier League. Here's Ericsson to Bruno Fernandes. Ericsson back again. He gives it going. Here's Ericsson again. Here's Leniero. Leniero with the ball. Man United have had 2 shots so far, and Newcastle have had 1. Man United have had 1 shot on target with that Xerxes shot. It was a brilliant shot, and Man United players seem to be slipping right now. That is a brilliant tackle. I don't know why he's given that a foul on Dello. It's a yellow card for Ugarte, but it was a clear tackle. I think the ref's being a bit biased there for Newcastle United. I think that was a really good tackle. Oh, it is a foul. It is a clear foul. I didn't see that little foul there on Inamento. But here is a free kick for Trippier to send one into the box. Here's Kieran Trippier. Trippier most looking like he's gonna try to get it to Dan Burns to get a header in. Let's see. He tries to find Joe Linton at the edge of the box. Can't find him. Goes all the way, and there is a goal kick for Manchester United in the 17th minute. And here's Bayandia. Bayandia to send one. He can't quite put a little pressure on for Amas. Amas, a new youngster in the Manchester United squad today, and it is another goal kick for Manchester United. Bayandia looking to send this one longer as the players are all going up. The Man United fullbacks looking to be sleeping on the Newcastle surface here. Bayandia sends the long one up top. His Xerxes trying to get it. His Amas is back to Bayandia. He's looking to control this one. Bayandia picks that up to pass it to Leniero. Leniero here. He's got Bayandia with him. He gives it to Bayandia. Here's Dallo with the ball. Dallo sends one into the middle. He finds Bruno. Bruno can't handle it. And look, the Kieran Trippier has slipped as well. Everyone's slipping today in the stadium. Here's Bayandia with the ball again. Here's Leniero. Leniero trying to call Amas to come to him to get a bit more tiki-taka plays through this pitch. Here's Xerxes trying to receive the ball. He's handled that nicely. He's trying to find Ericsson. Ericsson's free. He just went above Ericsson and Kieran Trippier got that nicely. Leniera has the ball again. Man United are getting their attacks in, but so are Newcastle. It is looking like an interesting game so far. Here's Murphy. And it's nice tackled by Dallo. Dallo gets it again. Is Garnacho can get that? No, he cannot. Barnes can gets that safely off Garnacho. And here is Murphy. Here's Turan. Here's Murphy again. Here's Isak. Has the ball. Here's Amas. It's a Newcastle throw in. And here is Dan Burns. He finds Joe Linton. Joe Linton to Dan Burns. He try and find Barnes there. Barnes to Joe Linton. Joe Linton to Bruno Guimaraes. He's sending a beautiful ball in. He can't get that. Kieran Trippier can't quite get that. And it goes for a goal kick. Ruben Amorim trying to find ideas for Manchester United. And here's Bayande to send this one long. Newcastle have got it back. And here is Alexander Isak. Here's Bruno Guimaraes. Oh, Alexander Isak just heads that one wide off The far post. Unlucky one there from Alexander Isak. It was offside though, unfortunately. It is difficult for goalkeepers that shot, but it wasn't a really bad attempt. And here is Bruno Fernandes again. Sends a really good ball in for Garnacho. Damn, it is 1-0 to Newcastle. Sandro Tonali has scored for Newcastle against Manchester United. Sandro Tonali, what a goal. Sandro Tonali, what a goal he has just scored there. Alexander Isak played a beautiful assist in for Tonali, and Tonali finishes that effortlessly. That was a beautiful finish by Sandro Tonali. A beautiful assist from Alexander Isak, who does a little two-touch pass. What a goal from Sandro Tonali. Tonali was not under pressure at all, with a beautiful far corner finish in bottom left corner. What a beautiful finish by Sandro Tonali. 1-0 Newcastle. It is now 3 goals in his last 5 games for Newcastle this season. Alexander Isak's 26th GA this season in the Premier League. Bayandia is with the ball again. He gives this to Lenny Euro. Lenny Euro here with the ball. He sends one to Joshua Zirkzee there. Here's Garnacho. He gets intercepted by Jolinton. Here's Murphy. Here's Kieran Trippier. Gives it to Murphy. Murphy's here again in the box. Can't find anyone inside the box. And it's an unlucky one. Here's Ugarte. Here's Ericsson. Bruno. Here dribbling with the ball. Gives it to Xerxes. Here's Dallo. Dallo to Bruno. Mazarabi here. Is back to Dallo. Bruno shouting for a free kick. Can't get one though. It's going to be a long day for Manchester United if they're going to keep playing like this. Here is Sandy Tonali with the ball again. Here's Dan Burns. Here's Dan Burn. Here's Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier gives it to Murphy. Murphy finds Isak. It is a foul on Alexander Isak by Lindelof. It is another free kick for Kieran Trippier. Is he going to give this shot to Murphy or is he going to send one in? There is a loud noise in the Newcastle Stadium. He sends one in long for Alexander Isak, and it is a corner by clearance. Bruno Fernandes shouting at the defense, telling them to defend better, don't let gaps in, don't let there be any gaps in between it. And now Manchester United and Newcastle have had one corner each. And here is Kieran Trippier to send a corner in, trying to find Danburn. Now he gives a short. Here's Sandro Tonali. Look, to take one long. He takes a massive shot, just wide from the goal. Tonali has a really good shot there on Bayandia. That could have been his second goal of the game and the second for Newcastle. What a shot! But I think Bayandia has that one covered. But brilliant shot from there from Sandro Tonali. Not a bad strike from Sandro Tonali at all. And here is Bayandia to take this one long. Here's Joshua Xerxes. Xerxes to Bruno. Ericsson can't get the final touch to give a pass to Xerxes. And here is Sandy Tonali with the ball. Here's Ugarte. Here's Lenny Euro. Lenny Euro finds Lindelof. Lindelof back to Bayandia. Bayandia to Lindelof. Lindelof back to Delo. Xerxes. Here's Ericsson. He's gone actually with the ball. Intercepted, but it is a throw in to Manchester United. It is Joe Linton with the ball, and it is a beautiful ball into Murphy. Murphy gives it to Isak. Isak here with the ball. Can't find Murphy, but he does somehow get it back. Here's Barnes. Barnes Trippier. Trippier trying to find Murphy, can't get to him. Here's Ericsson. Ericsson to Bruno. Bruno Bruno gets fouled by Bruno Guimaraes there. Bruno Fernandes needs to get rid of that a bit quicker there, but it is a foul on Bruno Fernandes by Bruno Guimaraes in Manchester United's half. 30 minutes in, 1-0. It has been a quite even game, but Newcastle are getting more chances in than Manchester United. Here's Bayandia. Keeps his cool and gives it to Dallo. Dallo's making a nice dribble forward into the pitch, and he gives it to Garnacho. Garnacho here with the ball. Garnacho gives it. Tries to find Xerxes. Xerxes can't get it, unfortunately. That could have been 1-1 if he got the ball there. Unlucky one there from Manchester United. And it is still 1-0. It was a really good run between Dallo and Garnacho with the overlap from Garnacho. Xerxes just couldn't get the contact enough. Couldn't time it. And here is Barnes. Barnes making his way into the box. Bayandia collects that comfortably. Here's Harvey Barnes. Harvey ba- Here's Lenny Euro. Back to Bayandia. Bayandia to send this one long to Ugarte. Can't get it, unfortunately. And it is Harvey Barnes again. Mazarawi fighting with him. And it is Dan Burns here with the ball. Here's Kieran Trippier, who gives it to Nick Pope. Nick Pope to send this one long. tries to find Alexander Isak, can't find him, and it is a Manchester United throw-in. Here's Euro to Ericsson. Ericsson to Lindelof. Here's Mazraoui with the ball. Gives it to Leniero. Euro to Amas, can't find him. Here's Bruno pressing with the ball. Here's Joe Linton. Joe Linton making his way up top. And it is out for Harvey Barnes here. Asante Shinali can't find Alexander Isak with a great shot, but it's a great save by Bayandia. What a save from Bayandia. The goalkeeper has just had his first standout moment in this game. What a brilliant save by Bayandia, the Turkish goalkeeper. He's only in his early 20s and he's making saves like that. Certainly better than Onana so far. And his Isak Bayandia does nice with that one. It's a great ball into the box. And Lindelof kicks it out for a corner. Manchester United getting the pressure onto them. It's not looking good for Manchester United right now. It's a great bit of work by Alexander Isak. What a save. You can just see that back again. That Leniora clears it comfortably. But it is a corner for Newcastle, which Kieran Trippier is about to take. And he sends one into the box. Joe Linton can't get that. Here's Harvey Barnes with his electric pace. Trying to send one into the box. And a beautiful ball. Dan Burns just hits it over the bar. What a ball from Harvey Barnes. Dan Burns just can't keep it under the bar. Unlucky one there from Newcastle. It is Bayandia's Premier League debut today. And he is not looking that bad so far. Here is Barnes. Barnes to Isak. Isak trying to find someone, can't get anyone. It's Ericsson to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes can't find Xerxes, unfortunately. And it is Kieran Trippier's ball here. Here's Kieran Trippier with the ball. Gives it to Joe Linton. Here's Murphy. Murphy trying to send one in, can't find anyone. Almost went to Alexander Isak, but couldn't get to him, unfortunately, and caught out by Lenny Guro. And Garnacho has scored, and it is 1-1. Alejandro Garnacho has scored. Goal. What a goal from Alejandro Garnacho. He has cleared his drought so far in these last 10-15 games. What a goal by Alejandro Garnacho, assisted by Diego Dalot. What a goal by Alejandro Garnacho. And he does the youngster celebration right now. Of course, he does that the nice face celebration. And it is a nice goal by Alejandro Garnacho. And it is 1-1. Man United will certainly be happy with that one. It was the overlap that did it between Dallo and Garnacho. It is a really good goal by Manchester United there. The link up play and the build up between the attack, defense, and the midfield was beautiful there, and it is 1-1 at Newcastle Stadium. Here's Murphy. Manchester United back on level terms now to 1-1 in Newcastle. And here, Dan Burn has got a perfect pass to Murphy there. Murphy trying to find someone in the box, can't find anyone, and it is brilliantly cut out by the youngster Amas. The last time Garnacho has scored was against Leicester before the international break. Here's Joelinton with the ball. Joelinton can't find anyone, and that is a dreadful cross. That is a dreadful cross by Joelinton there. Here's Amas. Did Amas get fouled there? It is not a foul on Amas for some reason. He is still laid down, and it is apparently a corner for Newcastle. He did get two people on him. That is a clear foul. He didn't get the ball at all. Boy, it isn't a foul. It is a corner to Newcastle there. Tomorrow, Bournemouth vs Fulham. We will be live at 8 p.m. Hope hopefully you are on watching us, and to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And here's Isak to cross one in. Can't find Joe Linton, and it is kicked out by Manchester United's Lenny Euro. Another big goal that for Manchester United. And here is Amas with the throw in. He gives it to Dallo. Dallo passes it back, but it is intercepted by Dan Burns. Now Burn finds Barnes, but is cut out by Mazraoui. Mazraoui needs to get back now to help his back line out. And it is a throw in next to the corner flag for Newcastle there. Here's Livramento. Livramento gives it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton to Dallo. Newcastle need a win to help them get into the top four. There, even a draw would do for Newcastle, but then that means they need to win their next game next week. And Amas having a little foul there with Shaw. They are going to retake the corner. No cards shown. Laniero just puts his shot there, and it is a yellow card for Laniero. Laniero has gotten a yellow card, the 19-year-old, for pushing Shaw over. Here it comes from Trippier. Trippier sends it over, and the header goes over the bar by Bruno Guimaraes. Unlucky one there from Bruno Guimaraes. And here is Bayandia with the ball. Looking to send this one long. A minute and a half of normal time remaining of the first half. Here's Murphy to send this one in for a throw in. Here's Trippier. Trippier to Joe Linton. Joe Linton has the ball to Dan Burns. Dan Burns here sends one in for Isak, but Lindelof covers that nicely. Here's Amos. Amos doing a nice little dribble in between them. Here's Garnacho. And he has a nice shot. That's an unlucky shot there for Alejandro Garnacho, but it is a nice save by Nick Pope. Bruno Fernandes trying to send one in. And it is a throw-in for Manchester United. It was a really good strike by Alejandro Garnacho, but a really nice save to cut out him by Nick Pope. 2 additional minutes till the second half, till the first half has ended. Here's Dallo to send this one in long into the box. And it is another throw-in for Manchester United. Man United putting Newcastle on the back foot now since that goal. Here's Dallo to send another long ball in. Tries to get it to Xerxes. Xerxes can't get it. Here's Ericsson to Mazraoui. Mazraoui has Bayandia with him. He gives it Bayandia. Bayandia sends it long. And it is another throwing opportunity for Manchester United in. And it's looking like Dallo's going to send another long ball in. Here's Dallo. Send another long one. 30 seconds left of additional time. And Nick Pope has that comfortably. Nick Pope sends it to Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier tries to find Murphy, can't get him. Amos has the ball. And it is half time between Manchester United and Newcastle United. 1-1 at half time. Boy, I'm just gonna start a menu. And here I am back for to live stream the second half, and it is with Lindelof to Bayandia. Bayandia to send one long up top. Here's Joe Linton with the ball. Here's Xerxes. Joshua Xerxes free. You can't run that quick. And that is is that a push in the penalty area? Just checking the penalty. If it is one, VAR looking at Amas can't keep it under the bar. But is that a foul on Dallo there with the push? It doesn't look like there was enough contact with that, but it does look like it was a foul. VAR are double checking that right now. That is a very hard decision. I would say that is a pen. And it is 2-1. Harvey Barnes has scored for Newcastle. Harvey Barnes has scored for Newcastle here to make it 2-1. What a goal from Harvey Barnes. Beautiful assist from Murphy and a great goal from Harvey Barnes there. 2-1 to Newcastle United. That is a big team goal there from Newcastle United. Livramento, a key player in that attack there. Harvey Barnes with the iconic Archer celebration to remind Manchester United fans, don't get too happy all that and now. You're still 13th in the Premier League. What a ball in from Livramento. Murphy, great pass, and Harvey Barnes just had to tap in the simple finish. Harvey Barnes' 7th goal of the season in the Premier League, and Xerxes starts it all off again. It's 2-1 in the 50th minute. It's thrown to Newcastle United here. Newcastle are now 4th in the live table. But if they draw the game, they go to 6th. If they lose, they stay 7th. Joelinton controls it for Isak. Isak gives it back to Dan Burns. Dan Burns just narrowly gets it away from Alejandro Garnacho, and Alejandro Garnacho is here on the attack. He makes his way past but can't get anyone in the box to pass it to. And here is Xerxes tried to backheel it. He thought Garnacho was going to make his way into the box, but he didn't. And here is Murphy with the ball. Here's Barnes. Control that nicely. Tries to get past Mazraoui. Mazraoui nicely tackles him. It is Sandro Tonali here with the ball. Here's Murphy. Bruno here. Xerxes has the ball. Xerxes keeps the ball with him. Tries to get past everyone. He does. He still has the ball. He's injured himself in the process. It's looking like he has got a little bit of a cramp. Rasmus Højlund warming up. Højlund needs to do good as he's getting subbed on now. So is Dog. A triple substitution is looking like for Manchester United. Dog is getting so is Højlund. Xerxes walking off with Bruno and the medic with him. Now it's time for the triple substitution. Mason Mount, Højlund, and Patrick Dorgu are coming on for Manchester United. So first of all, Mason Mount is coming on for Alejandro Garnacho. That's a surprising one because from what I think Garnacho's been good today. He hasn't made any mistakes. Doing good up top. Garnacho's had an alright game. Amas has come off for Patrick Dorgu, and of course Højlund has come on for Joshua Xerxes. We need a good Højlund. We need Højlund back into a good form now. He hasn't been good at all this season. At all. We need a good Højlund today to face Newcastle in the last third of the game. And here is Leniero. Leniero to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno to Højlund. Højlund to Eriksen. Eriksen can't handle the power of the pass. But here is Leniero. Leniero to Ugarte. Ugarte's got Bruno with him. Passes it to Bruno. Bruno passes it out wide to Diego Dallo. Passes it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui to Ugarte. Ugarte gives it to Lindelof. Lindelof to Leniero. Leniero has Bruno with him. He gives it back to Lindelof. Lindelof to Mazraoui. Mazraoui back to Lindelof. Lindelof gives it to Ugarte. Ugarte back to Lindelof. Diego Dallo with the ball here. Gives it to Højlund. Højlund has Eriksen. Gives it to Eriksen. Eriksen plays a good ball in for Patrick Dorgu. Can't get that, unfortunately. It's caught up by Murphy. Murphy gives it to Pickford. And Patrick Dorgu has to do a little foul there to put Kieran Trippier on the ground there. A free kick to Kieran Trippier for Newcastle United. And it's looking like Pope is going to take this one long. No, Shaw's going to take a quick one. Newcastle wasting a bit time on the free kick here. Shaw takes it long to Joe Linton, but here is Lindelof with the ball. Bayandia to Lanier, can't. Bit of a miss pass there from Bayandia, and it is nice to cut out. Patrick Dorgu nicely takes it out for a throw in, saves it from a corner. And here is Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes to Murphy. Murphy here with the ball. Tries to cross one in, but it is cut out by Patrick Dorgu. Dorgu cuts it out for a corner. It is a corner for Newcastle United in the 58th minute. Dan Burn getting into the box. The main guy you're looking for in a corner battle. Here's Trippier to send it in. Don't send it. Give the short one to Isak. That isn't a foul on Kieran Trippier by Bruno Fernandes. Here's Mazraoui, take it. He tries to find Patrick Dorgu, but can't find him unfortunately. And here's Isak trying to find Barnes there, can't find him. And Kieran Trippier stays down on the Bruno Fernandes. I think that is a tackle. He just dived that horrendously. Kieran Trippier trying to get a little cheeky foul there, but it is a throw into Manchester United. Dorgu's gonna give it to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes back to Dorgu. Dorgu gives it to Lindelof. Lindelof has Rasmus. Rasmus. That is a foul on Bruno Fernandes. By Shaw. His Shaw. The ball. Ericsson's gonna take a quick free kick. Yeah. Gives it to Naniero. Naniero here with the ball. Gives it to Bruno. It is another free kick. Patrick Dorgu is giving a bit of free kicks away. They have no need for that, honestly. Patrick Dorgu could have just pressed him. And Casemiro is getting warmed up. Looking like he's going to come on for Manchester United shortly. And Kieran Trippier is going to send a long one into the box. Sends it really long. Dan Burns controlled that but can't find anyone. Isak's got it eventually. He's trying to find Dan Burn. Can't find him. Burn. Try to send one into the box. Can't get him. Ericsson or Rasmus Højlund pressing the Newcastle defence. Tries to find Dan Burn. Is great ball in from Murphy there. Unlucky there from Dan Burn. Here's Isak. Isak finds Sandro Tonali in the box. Harvey can get the header. Bayandia clears that safely. But here is Bonds with a cross into the box. Nice hands by Andy there. Here's Thomas Tuchel in the stands, looking at the gameplay of Manchester United and Newcastle. And here's Bruno on the counter. He got Rasmus with him. It's Mount in the to corner to Manchester United there. Here's Manchester United. And it's 3-1 to Newcastle. Barnes has scored his second of the game, and it is 3-1 to Newcastle in Newcastle there. 3-1. A mistake from Mazraoui slipping, and Barnes gets through the defense there, and it's a neat finish by Barnes. 3-1. Newcastle dominating Manchester United. And it's Mazraoui who lets Manchester United down there with the little slip. Great goal there from Bob Barnes. Nice dribble. Nice pressing there, which lets slip there. Nice top bin finish. Top left corner. Two goals in 14 minutes for Harvey Barnes. And 2 goals in 14 minutes for Newcastle United. Beautiful stuff by Newcastle. It's his first Premier League brace since May 30th in 2024. There's a foul on Diego Dallo there by Joe Linton. Here's Ericsson just hits one. Can't find anyone in the box. There's a throw into Manchester United. Bruno's gonna take this one. It's a nice ball in to Patrick Dorgu, but it is offside. Manchester United. Alan Shearer watching in the stands. He sure will be delighted about this match so far. 3-1 up. Newcastle. It's looking like Newcastle are gonna get an easy win here at their home ground. Patrick Dorgu does that nicely to make sure it's been 3 goals against the Manchester United goalkeeper's debut in the Premier League, but he hasn't been that bad at all. They've just been really good goals against bein here. He hasn't made any mistakes apart from one pass. He has done really good today, but just that centre backs need to. They're not. They're not. They're too far apart. They're too wide apart. They need to come a bit closer to help them in the defense. And here is Dallo. Dallo to get across into the box. He can't get it, unfortunately. And here is Liv Nintendo. He gives it to Bruno Guimaraes. To Trippier. Trippier to Isak. Isak handles it nicely. Has Murphy on his right side if he wants to use it. He gives it to him. He gives it back to Kieran Trippier. Trippier to Guimaraes. Tonali here with the ball. Sends one in, but it is offside for Murphy there. Here's Bayandia with the ball. Mount. Here is Mazarabi. Here's Patrick Dorgu. Gives it to Lenny Euro. Lenny Euro to Bayandia. Here's Harvey Barnes to take a shot. Trying to get a hat-trick. Can't get it. And it is a corner to Newcastle United. Here's Bruno Guimaraes. Testing for the ball with Patrick Dorgu. Murphy trying to get past Lenny Euro there. Lenny Euro has the ball. Trying to play it forward. But here's Shaw. Trying to get another ball into the box. Can't get one. And it is a corner for Newcastle United again. Bruno Fernandes giving the corner away. Here is Lenny Euro. Lenny Euro to Ericsson. Ericsson kicks the ball here. Ericsson doing tiki-taka football with Bruno Fernandes. Bein here with the ball. Dorgu gives another foul away on Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier looking like that one hurt. He accidentally steps on the side of his foot. Unlucky one there for Patrick Dorgu. And here is Alexander Isak. Murphy's going to take this one. Long in for Dan Burn. Dan Burn's trying to find this one. But the header does get a header in, but can't control it nicely. And it is Murphy with the ball here. Bruno gets it back. And here's Patrick Dorgu. Here's Mazraoui. Here's Lenny Euro. Beautiful ball in for Bruno Fernandes. Rasmus Højlund giving the ball in. He's a god to take a shot outside the box. Straight at the keeper though. Here's Harvey Barnes again. Definitely been the man of the match so far. Here's Murphy with the ball. Here's Dan Burn. Here's Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier gives it to Murphy. Murphy trying to find Isak in the box. He finds him. It just cut out by Lenny Euro. Murphy trying to send one in. And it is 4-1 to Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes gets the fourth one. And it is an absolute masterclass by Newcastle United here in their home ground. And it is a really bad mistake by a Bayandia, and it is 4-1. This is really disgusting by Manchester United here. Newcastle putting up a performance by Manchester United's mistakes. It's not looking good at all for Manchester United. Be- Beautiful pass from Bayern there. Jolinton nicely assists it to Bunigamaresh. It's 4-1 with 12 minutes left in the game. And here is Amash. Luke Shaw to Dogu. Wilson is on for Isak. Mazraoui off for Shaw. I'm not impressed with this match. .10 minutes left of this match, and it hasn't been one-sided. Just Newcastle have taken their opportunities while Manchester United have not, and it's looking like it is gonna end in a 4-1 victory for Newcastle United. Dogu to take the throw in, cut out by Shaw. Bruno Guimaraes. Barnes here with the ball. Gives it to Tonali. Tonali to Bruno to Barnes. Here's Tonali again. Here's Harvey Barnes. Jolinton to Bruno Guimaraes. Here's Sandro Tonali. And Bruno is going off for Kobe Manu. I think it's a bit too late now for making substitutions. It's 4-1 with 10 minutes left. It's a Manchester United throw in. Here's Doggy to Hoyland. Hoyland to Manu. Ericsson to Mazarabi. Luke Shaw to Lenny Euro. Here is Bayandia. Bayandia to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw to here's Doggy. Patrick Doggy here. Sends one into the box. Cut out by Shaw. Here's Mount. Mount takes one for himself and straight at the keeper with no power at all. Here's Newcastle just playing at the back. It's foul and Bellingham is fouled by Colmani there. It's a difficult day for Ruben Amorim as the head coach. Newcastle gonna make a double change in the midfield. And 5 minutes left in the match. Here is Dallo with the ball.